usually, in the end, when we talk about battles, in the end, both kids will cry.
Yes.
So what are your suggestions for a ceasefire? And what's the plan for the peace process?
So I think we're already actively looking at this in reality, where we see teams being created for DevOps. Because if you've got to support the code that you're writing, it's amazing how more open you are to adopting some of the recommendations that are being offered to you. So I think actually having the developers and the DBAs coexist on the same team, as opposed to appearing to be opposite teams, helps a lot in that. And because it opens the line of communication and that they can really begin to help each other. In terms of what do I think would complete the ceasefire, I think if they take advantage of the right technology at the beginning of a project and look at all of the features and functionality within the database that they're using, ideally Oracle, right? Which we call it internally a converged database, but I think the community thinks of it more like a multi-model database. So if you take advantage of that and you utilize the features and the functionalities that we offer, I think that is the universal peacemaker, because it will allow things to be much simpler. There'll only be one set of APIs the developers need to learn. The database will take care of an awful lot of the requirements for modern applications, things like security and high availability and scalability. That'll all just come out of the box if they work together, communicate, and use the Oracle database. That should hopefully set them on the right track for success.
So what you're saying is you can accept what you understand.
Exactly, yes.
When I look at your personal tweet line and what you're talking about all the time, your personal passion seems to be autonomous database.
Yes.
Why is this technology so fascinating?
Well, I think it's because I'm also very into self-driving cars. So automation in general is something that I'm big into, and it's fascinating to me to see how far we've come. Not to age either of us, but you know, back in the day when we began, and I think about all of the things we had to work out, things like the hash area size and the sort area size and all these parameter settings and manual management, you know, oh, we've run out of undo segments and all of this stuff. We don't think about that anymore. Over the last 20 years, a lot of those things have been automated. And to see that go, take a giant step forward with the autonomous database, thanks to the cloud being the underlying infrastructure, not only do we automate just the management within the database, but the provisioning of it, the backing up of that system, the cloning of it, the fact that that's all automated now is fascinating to me because it allows us to forget about all of that maintenance kind of stuff and management stuff and really focus on innovating for the business and understanding the data that's inside that database and getting value out of it for the business is huge, because it's something that by the time we had done all the management and the configuration, we were somewhat exhausted, right? And when the business would come and say, now help me with my project, we'd be like, no, we don't have time for that.
We already had enough.
Yes, I have to patch databases tonight. No, I'm not talking to you. So I hope Autonomous will be able to help people say yes instead of saying no to those projects and helping the business. And that to me is really where the fascinating part begins, when we actually start using that database to find those nuggets to help move the business forward.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
No, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much.